Salamun alaikum. So I was talking to a really good friend of mine on the phone. We were talking about the meaning of the word bayt or home in the Quran. Sorry if I'm a little sweaty. I was cutting my grass. So we were having this discussion. I was saying it reminded me of this verse where Allah talks about buyut, homes, and He says, "Ja'ala min buyutikum sakanan," that He made from your homes a source of tranquility and peace. And so I was saying perhaps in that verse, it gives us the definition of what is a home. It's a source of peace. It's not the physical location, it's the people and the solace and the comfort and tranquility that you experience in that place. It could be any place. And it could even be an abstract place. And that's kind of what I was getting to when me and him were talking, because I was saying, when me and you are on the phone together, it feels like home, right? In that sense. It's not necessarily we're in the same physical location, but the tranquility and the peace that we experience with each other is what I was referencing. And so we started to go further with that idea. For example, the wives of the Prophet being called Ahl al-Bayt, right? The family of the Prophet, right? Or I'm sorry, Ahl al-Bayt, the people of the household, right? The people of the household, the family of the Prophet, his wives, right? So if you think about it like that, did they all live in the same physical location? Not necessarily, right? Because in another verse in the Quran, there's a reference to Buyut and Nabi, the homes of the Prophet. Buyut and Nabi, plural, Buyut. But his family, is collectively referred to as Ahl al-Bayt, the people of the household. Follow me? So even though they don't all live in the same location, they're still the people of the household. Or think about a show like Game of Thrones. You got these different houses, right? But it's not just referencing the physical location that they live. Of course, they live in a physical location, but the point is the people of the house, right? That represent the house. And so that's just a different way to think about what is a house or a home in the Quran. It's perhaps a place that you find the ability to dwell in a tranquil way, and it could be an abstract place that exists in relationships and not in a physical location. And then that brings us back to the example of the spider. مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت. The example of those who take awliya, supporters, friends, helpers, protectors besides Allah, is like the example of the spider. So when people talk about what is the example of the spider here, اتخذت بيتا, it takes a bait, whether that's the web or its household or however we want to interpret it. People might say, what does the example of the spider stand for? It tells us right in the beginning of the verse, مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء. The example of those who take friends, supporters, and helpers besides Allah. كمثل العنكبوت is like the example of the spider. So the spider's example is for those who have relationships built on things other than principles derived from Allah. أولياء من دون الله. So you have these close relationships that aren't built on the principles that we derived and learned from Allah through the Quran and through our sense of taqwa and fujur that He instilled in each one of us. So we take these relationships based on false principles, and Allah said the example of that, كَمَثَلِ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ, is like the example of a spider, or the spider. اتَّخَذَتْ بَيْتًا, it takes a household. So a bayt can be a symbol for awliya, for supporters, helpers, and relationships, not just the physical location. Follow me? So hopefully that made sense. Assalamu alaikum.